Hello, everyone. I am Matthew Thomas, and I have a very special guest with me. She is the September Mourning, Emily Lazar. Thank you for being on Super Cool Radio.
Super cool. I don't know. Hi, how are you?
Since there's no shows going on right now due to the coronavirus and everything. So how are you staying busy during this time?
I'm doing a lot of working out. I'm painting a lot. I started painting again, and I paint these little portraits called the Pixie Girls, and they're kind of like Tim Burton-esque, like Erte sort of kind of like gothy, like little paintings of girls, and they all have their own personalities, and they're really cool. So if you want to check them out, you can check them out online. They have their own Instagram, Pixie Girls Paintings. Pixie_girls_paintings. And so you can check them out online. But yeah, I'm doing a lot of those for commissions and stuff, and people are buying them up. So I actually have to paint one today that I got another commission in. So that's keeping me very busy. And then we're working on new music right now. So, we're going back and forth with mixes and things like that and finalizing stuff. And we just released a new T-shirt for the coronavirus.
I saw that. I enjoy it.
I thought it was cute. It has like September and Claire, on the shirt, and they're just kind of fighting the virus with their masks on, and September has like a sword, and yeah, it's like a whole thing.
I enjoy with the face masks on, because that's how people look right now outside. So
that's IRL right now. That's like the way of life. It's kind of scary, but it's the truth.
Yeah, it's reality right now.
Mhm.
Then I saw the Pixie Girls online. I really enjoyed the September one. I think that looks really cool, and especially all the other ones as well.
Yeah, I got 3 commissions for September one, so I have to paint the 3rd one today. I'm just waiting for the frames to come in, because I have 2, 4, 6, 8. I have 10 of them right now sitting in my living room, like that I need to frame, and I just haven't been able to frame them because Amazon is a little bit slow with things that aren't like essential. So for me, the frames are essential because I'm actually making my rent by painting these things. So,
yeah.
But like I understand, how it is. It's kind of hard out there right now for everybody. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So the September Mourning is a very interesting concept. You combine both like audio and visual elements with the comic books and music. How did you come up with like the comic book idea, and how does that feed into the music aspect?
I came up with the idea of the characters first before anything, and I wanted to do a project that wasn't based solely on like music and just being a band up there in t-shirt and jeans and just rocking out. There's nothing wrong with that. I love that. That's great. But for me, that's not what I wanted to do. So I wanted to do something that had more of like a concept around it, that was more a visual presentation, and also something that built a world. I like world building things. I'm like, I'm into gaming, and I'm into like, like big worlds like Harry Potter and Star Wars and like, things that build worlds. So I wanted to build my own sort of universe around my project, and that's how September Mourning came to be. And now it is its own universe, so it's pretty exciting.
And how did you come up with so you came up with comic books first. What inspired you to write comic books?
I think it was just the storyline kind of just inspired me, just because it seemed like that was the way to go with it. Since I was doing something that was so visual, comics books are like visual art, like with, a storyline. So I thought, okay, well, this would be the best fit,
Yeah, makes sense. And then, so you released a new EP at the end of 2019, the Volume 3 EP. How was it writing and recording that EP compared to other writing sessions?
Writing sessions are kind of all the same, go in and, it just depends on like your concept and what you want to do that day. But, it's pretty much more of the same of how we always kind of write. Like Rich and I, Riven, are the primary songwriters in the team, and we write with a couple of different people in our camp, producer-wise and stuff like that, and we all kind of like meld things together. I usually come in with some sort of concept as far as the lyrical content is concerned, like something that kind of feeds into the storyline, or I can make feed into the storyline. And we kind of bust it out from there. Sometimes, Riv and Rich will come in with like a guitar line, or sometimes Nick will come in with like programming ideas or something like that, and that's how we bounce things around. It just really kind of depends. Like it can work a bunch of different ways.
Yes, and I know many people talk about Overdose off that new EP, which is a great song in its own right, but actually my favorite song off that is Hiding from Heaven. And what was the inspiration behind that song?
That's a great song. I love Hiding. I think Hiding is like such a weird and interesting song. Like it's one of those sleeper songs that you kind of listen to it and you're like, oh, that's a cool song. And then you listen to it again and you're like, damn, I really like this song. Oh crap.
Oh, you did.
And that's a good thing, is when a song kind of hits you like that. And Hiding was interesting because I came up with the concept of, and I know you've probably felt this. I know like 99% of the population has felt this, but like you kind of self-sabotage yourself sometimes with things, like if something is too good to be true and you think it's too good to be true and then you sabotage it so it doesn't come true. That's kind of like what that song is actually about. It's about allowing the good things to come into your life and be present with them instead of like self-sabotaging all the time. And so that's at the very end of this song, it says no more hiding from heaven. So allowing yourself to actually let the good in.
And I think that resonates with a lot of people. I mean, I think a lot of people face the situations like that where, well, this sounds way too good to actually, be happening to me. And then you do something and like, well, it didn't happen to me, so I guess it wasn't meant to be, or something like that.
I think it's funny. It's like everybody's like, oh, I'm such an optimist. And so, I mean, look, to me, it's like as a human being, like we're all kind of like rooted in the same crap. So, and it's like that crap is reality. And so if we look at it, the realistic part of ourselves is our core nature. Our core nature is to look at the reality of the situation for the most part. And when that happens, reality is usually not the prettiest sight to see. And so I'm not saying it's not optimistic. Sometimes reality is optimistic, but reality can be very dark at times. And so I think that because that generalization of darkness is kind of like the world we live in, that sort of like seeps into a lot of our mental thinking, the way we kind of piece things together. So a lot of us, especially me, I don't know about you, but a lot of us have to fight that urge to kind of just focus on that darkness a little bit too much, We have to allow okay, this might not be the case right now, but there is the potential of this being the case, which means that there is some optimism to be had. So I think that's really important.
I mean, especially right now with the coronavirus and stuff, the world looks 100%. A little bit darker. It looks 100%. A little bit darker right now.
Yes, 100%. That's exactly what I was kind of getting at. It's right now, especially, you're stuck in your house, you have nothing to do or whatever. And it's the minute that I knew that this lockdown was happening, and I kind of knew a couple weeks probably prior to some people, just because my dad works, with a lot of government people and works with the military, and he's a doctor, and he calls me one day and he's like, I need you to do me a favor. And I was like, what's that? And he's like, I need you to not go outside for the next month. And I'm like, wait, what? and I was like, what are you talking about, you crazy person? And he's like, no, I can't tell you what's going on. I just need you to just do me this one favor. I know you don't like doing what I say, but I need you to do what I say just for this one time. And so I did it for about a week and a half. And then all of a sudden coronavirus is everywhere and everybody's staying home. And I'm like, oh, that's why he wanted me to start doing this early. So, I've been home and I've been inside for quite a long time. And a lot of people are getting depressed, but for me, it was kind of I'm an empath, which means that, I take on a lot of people's problems when I'm their friends. And and I'm a workaholic, and I'm a social person. But this kind of forced me to be a little bit like explore that introverted side of myself and really just focus on different parts of my art and different parts of myself. And I think that when you kind of like surrender to the reality of the situation being that you can't go outside, you can't do the things that you normally do. So surrender to that. What can I do? Like, what are the things I can do? And so that's why I started painting again. The minute that my dad told me I'm staying inside, I was like, I need to go to the art store. So the last place I was when I went outside was the art store before it closed down. So, and I grabbed like 20 canvases, and I grabbed paints, and I grabbed brushes, and I grabbed all this stuff, and I started painting. And all of a sudden now I have like this side hustle that's feeding me, you know? So it's kind of like, you know, there's stuff that you can do that you might not have ever thought that you had time to do, but now you have time to do these things, you know? A friend of mine bought me a PS4, and
I saw that.
Yeah, yep. I'm gonna start gaming again. 'Cause, you know, I used to love that stuff, but like I stopped because, well, first of all, like I broke my PS3. But besides that, like I was just, you know, touring a lot and never home. So like I really didn't have time to do any of that. But now I'm like sitting on my couch, and you know, not that I have a lot of time on my hands, because I literally am busy from morning to night doing stuff and working on stuff for the band and for social media and like posting and doing all this stuff and painting and whatnot. But it's going to be nice to just be able to chill out and like, oh, I remember how to do this again, you know, and like, oh, and all of these fans and friends have added me on PlayStation, and you know, if you are a gamer and you have a tag, my tag is September_Reaper, so you can get at me there. You know, they've all added me, and I'm like, oh, we can all just like have fun and like kill zombies and crap, you know, like we can just do something together even though we're not together. So I mean, there's ways to kind of do stuff, you know. It's funny because we're kind of in this like club med of isolation, and I think people forget that. It's not like we don't have electricity or water and there's like zombies attacking us. We're not in like The Walking Dead. We're in a pretty lame apocalypse scenario right now.
That's like the worst apocalypse story ever.
It's the worst. Like my apocalypse, I foresaw myself in all latex, like cat suit, like with a long sword and like guns and like an ammo belt and like dope like Louboutins on, running and jumping and like doing like parkour on rooftops and killing zombies. But my real apocalypse is me and my onesie on my couch playing PS4.
Yeah, I was expecting the world to be on fire, and it's no, like, just don't leave your house. Okay.
Just don't leave your house. That's how you save the world. It's like, gosh, that's lame.
My procrastination finally helped me.
I'm like, I still want to buy that latex cat suit, but there's nowhere to wear it. Like, gosh, when are the zombies coming? Come on, let's get real on this. Like, jeez. Anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, and I got a PS4, but I haven't played it in months, and it's like, well, maybe I'll get back into it, but I know...
You need to add me on PS4.
I think I will.
I'm going to get... Okay, so my big thing is I love Final Fantasy because I grew up on that crap. So they just did the reboot, so I need to get that, and then I'm going to just grab as many people as I can, and we're all going to play it. So, like, it's, you know, that's going to be really fun. So,
all right. I've never played Final Fantasy. I've heard a lot about it, but I never played it.
It's the best! It's the best! Yeah, Final Fantasy is great.
All right. Yeah, I was playing a lot of Batman, but that was about it.
Oh yeah, I got like all 3 Batman games, so I'm gonna start on those because I don't remember how to play at all anything, so I'm gonna really suck at first. So give me like a week or 2 and I'll be back into the groove again. So
right on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got something to look forward to during this quarantine.
See?
So moving on with what are some of your like influences, inspirations for your style of music?
Panda bears.
Haven't heard that one before.
Trying to keep you on your toes.
I am.
No, I mean, you know, that's like the go-to question. What's your inspiration?
Yeah.
Like I always want to say something weird. Like
I was not expecting that. So.
Panda bears and black lava. Like what? You know, it's always like the same thing. I mean, really, honestly, I've just been inspired by art my whole life. Like I've known so many different sides of art, not just music, but like dance and like culture and like visual art and painting and sculpture. So it's just kind of like September Mourning is just such an amalgamation of all the art that I grew up on. You know, it's not just kind of like, oh, I love Bowie. You know, it's nothing, that's not like, I can't even say that because like, yeah, I love Bowie, but that's not where the inspiration comes from. You know, it's like, it's just so much crap that I've like seen in my life, you know. I used to when I was in New York, I used to go up to the Frick Museum when I wanted to write, and I'd sit in front of the Frick is like a private museum that's based in like an old house on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, and it's beautiful. It's like insanely beautiful. Like anybody, I couldn't imagine living in some place like this in the middle of Manhattan. It looks like it's crazy. Anyway, they have gardens and stuff. It's so like I would sit in front of these like insanely beautiful paintings, and I'd just sit there and I'd write. Like that is the inspiration for me. So like I don't even know how to answer that question sometimes because it just comes from so many different places.
I gotcha. And so I saw this because I'm part of your Patreon.
Yay! Thank you. Thanks for supporting me.
No problem. I saw you dropped a new photo shoot, or at least part one of your photo shoot. So how do you develop ideas to find the different locations, the attires, and how do you capture these unique photo shoots?
I just kind of, I don't know. I always have like little ideas for shoots, so I just kind of jot them down in a little journal. And then when it comes time to shoot, I just pick one, I mean, I'm constantly thinking of stuff and jotting it down. It's kind of the same thing that I do with lyrics. I'll just constantly just write stuff down, even if it's like a sentence or maybe it's like a paragraph or maybe it's like this or that,
Yeah.
I just have like, lists and lists and lists of stuff. So I just keep on going through them because it's just stuff that like pops into my mind. Again, like when it comes to influence and stuff like that, what people don't really realize is that your true influences come from the places in your mind that aren't your, like the frontal lobes of your brain. That's not really where it comes from. It comes from that stuff that's deep seated that you don't really recognize, but that like comes up through your subconscious when you actually do things, which is the weirdest stuff ever. I mean, it's basically, if you're studying psychology, it goes down to behavioral patterns, like your old brain and your new brain. But like, it's the same thing when it comes down to inspiration, and I find that to be very, very interesting. I'm doing this course, this Yale course about the pursuit of happiness or something, and it's just all about that sort of like where things come from in your brain. It's interesting.
I think that's a very interesting look on how you develop and come up with stuff. It's very kind of deep.
Yeah, well, but that I think it is kind of deep. Like everybody is kind of deep, and I mean, people always give these answers like, oh yeah, I really liked, whatever, asking Alexander. Okay, yeah, no, that's not why you came up with that. You came up with that because this happened like when you were 10 years old. Like, and like nobody can really pinpoint these things until you start like really analyzing. An analyzation of yourself and like where your behavior patterns come from is like super intense, and not a lot of people want to do that stuff. So.
Well, no, it's a very interesting take because I've never heard anyone actually answer that.
Well, I'm taking a course at Yale, so.
I did see a post on that. I think, aren't they offering free courses?
Hey, see, they're offering free courses with all these Ivy League schools. I mean, there's some really crazy courses in there, and if you are bored and you want to actually exercise your mind, there's some stuff that I'm just learning that I'm like, wow, that actually does make sense. Like now all of the crazy is starting to make a little more sense, which is even a little bit scary, but whatever.
I mean, it's the perfect time right now with, can't leave your house, might as well actually, discover yourself and build yourself and make yourself a better person.
Like I wrote this post on Twitter. I just started my own personal Twitter because I'm always we always have the band one, but I wanted to start a personal one and kind of grow it, and just of my personal thoughts. And I said something on the Twitter about letting your aura breathe and letting your energy just kind of reside and really feeling where you are. And it's so true. It's it's like when you're constantly around people feed into your energy, and you also give your energy out, and you allow them in. But when you're silent and still and by yourself, there's only inwards looking. There's nothing outwards looking, and you allow who you really are to kind of breathe and be. And there's something very soothing about that. So
yeah, for sure. And so I got one last question before we go. So I know so September Mourning I know you guys had a little bit of a rough start 2020. You had tour bus problems, and now with shows being postponed, what can people expect from you guys in 2020?
Well, we're going to be releasing some new music coming up, and we do have that shirt, so go online and grab that shirt. But we're kind of at the mercy of Miss Rona and her virus. So all my gay friends call her Miss Rona, so that's why I'm calling her.
I've seen a lot of people say that now.
Yeah, all my gays are like, oh my God, it's Miss Rona. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, she is kind of she's on tour right now, so none of us can be on tour.
It's a stay-at-home tour right now.
Yeah, we are at the stay-at-home tour, and unfortunately, all of us kind of live very far apart, so there's no getting together and doing a live stream or something. But, it's okay though. We're kind of at the mercy of what the promoters are going to do, what the tours are going to do, what the events are going to do. So I think the best bet to know exactly what's happening with us is to join us on Facebook. You can go to facebook.com/September Mourning, or our Instagram.com/September Mourning, or our Twitter, which is spelled a little weird. It's /SEPTMBR Mourning, MOURNING. So you can go on those places and you can see what's up. Also, we have our, www.septembermourning.com website that has pretty much everything on it. We really appreciate you guys during this time, not, giving up the ghost with us, and really just kind of supporting us on Spotify and streaming us. That really helps us a lot. Supporting us on YouTube, streaming our videos. We have our own YouTube channel /The September Mourning with a bunch of videos and content up there that you can check out. Anything that you can do, buy a shirt, even if you just retweet us or tell Sirius Octane to play us, or just anything that you can do. If you have a radio station that's local, you're play us, just tweet at them, call them, anything that you can do. It's free to help us, it doesn't cost any money. So streaming is free for the most part. So, just partake in things that can actually help your favorite artist. And hey, if it's not us, do it for somebody else. I don't care. Just do it for art, get out there and help artists right now, because, we are suffering because a lot of us make our majority of our money on the road. And I know for my band, that's how we kind of stay in business, is we're always touring. And, we can't tour right now, and that's very hard on us.
Yeah, and I try to do my part. I try to feature September Mourning at least about once a week, maybe twice a week, depending on how I feel. But I really dig, Volume 3. If people haven't checked that out, make sure to check that out. And, check out, obviously, your Patreon page. And you just started a new Twitter, so I know there'll be a lot of random thoughts on there at some point. So
that one is Emily Lazar _SM. It already has random thoughts on it. It's kind of crazy. But yeah. Did you see my recent post about I can't say the word, but F, marry, and kill?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. Yeah, you should check that one out.
I will.
Yeah.
So thank you, Emily. Taking time out of your day and being on Super Cool Radio.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I was supposed to see you guys in February in Battle Creek. Sadly, I was not able to be there. But I hope.
Neither were we. It's okay.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So I hope you guys, this gets cleared up and I get to see you guys, live. I've never actually seen you guys live, so I really want to.
What?
Yeah, I know.
What is wrong with you?
I know. I gotta get my head checked. I know.
Have you seen the Unholy video we have on our YouTube?
I have.
Okay, so that's what it's like. It's fun. It's like a comic book come to life. It's like we're jumping off the pages. It's great. So I think you'd like it. It's really fun. Yeah, no,
I'm looking forward to it. Getting everything cleared up and seeing you guys live.
Yeah, we will definitely see you this year sometime, hopefully.
I think so. So you guys get out to the Midwest quite a bit, so I think I'll see you guys.
Yeah, we're in the Midwest a lot. Yeah, that's the rock and roll center.
Yeah.
The United States, apparently. So yeah.
Right on. So thank you for being on Super Cool Radio, and make sure to check out, support Emily and September Mourning.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.